The name Enshrouded sounds familiar. I remember hearing this name for a game and wanting to play it. I guess I saw a trailer or something, but I don't quite remember. But apparently it's a good looking survival game, and hopefully this is one that we can actually trust, because I'm trying to find a game to sink my teeth into. Like, Valorant is fun, but anytime you jump into a game, you kind of have to lock in for like 40 minutes. I'm kind of contemplating impulse buying BattleBit because everyone's on that right now. And I mean, well, not everybody, but you know, like it's got a good player base. It's still new, so everybody's still having fun with it, you know, still learning shit. There's a grind. You can unlock things as you play that a lot of people are saying is satisfying. I mean, the graphics don't look terrible. Like, it looks fun, right? Like, the gameplay looks good.
If you dig deep enough.
I don't know. It looks like a good game. But I also don't want to just spend 15 bucks right now just to spend it. Especially if it dies out within a little bit, you know? But it does seem fun too, having proximity chat, messing around with people. Like, a game that's not too serious that you can kind of jump in and out of whenever you're bored, or whenever you're like watching something and you feel like playing something on the side. That way it's not something, you know, you don't have to focus on. Like on here, if you're in a 1v1, you kind of have to pause whatever you're watching or whatever. But on BattleBit, like, you can be in a 1v1 and it won't really matter if you die or not. It's chilling, you know? And I'm trying to find like an MMO or something. I just want something that I could just go to, like a go-to game. This game is really fun, but I feel like if I'm not playing comp, I'm kind of wasting my time. And I just need a game, a go-to game that doesn't have to be taken too serious, you know? I'm sure everybody does.
So last week I got the chance to sit down and check out this new upcoming game called... Hey everyone, what's up? So last week I got the chance to sit down and check out this new upcoming game called...
One enemy remaining.
I saw about an hour's worth of gameplay, and frankly, it came away pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure what to expect with this one after watching the initial announcement trailer, as it did look a little rough, if I'm being honest. But now, having seen the game in action, taking a look at the combat, building, how the exploration and progression
I'm not really remembering any of this though.
Unedited gameplay session, a live demo, basically. It's left me way
I know the
more
name though,
Enshrouded.
So
I want to tell you about it. It is still clearly being made by a small team. In fact, according to their website, the developing studio is made up of just under 50 people. So yeah, the game does have some of the expected rough edges, but nevertheless, Enshrouded does.
Oh, maybe I saw something like this.
And if their past work, Portal Knights, is any indication, it might be looking at a solid indie title from Keen Games. So what is Enshrouded? Well, this is a new open world survival action RPG genres.
You can
throw that into
glide?
a voxel-based open world, giving players quite a bit of freedom in both how they explore, but also
yeah, that looks pretty dope.
The game is set in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world.
Wait, is it
where
single player?
A deadly fog has enshrouded everything, and this isn't purely cosmetic either, as the fog does play a pivotal role.
I want it to be like massive multiplayer online, you know?
So you, as the player, have been brought back to life by a mysterious force called the Flame, and you are tasked with dispelling the fog.
Single player games are fun and all, but
typical survival faction, after creating a character, go about the well-worn loop of gathering materials, crafting tools, gear, and weapons, which you'll use to build bases, explore the world, and fight the various foes within. Besides the gathering and crafting,
last player standing.
Valheim, where you won't die if you
30
neglect
seconds
to
left.
eat or drink, but rather doing so grants you significant buffs, of which they said this is done to
interesting.
be rewarding rather than punishing. If you have to chop wood but don't have food, it won't be an issue, but if you do have food, it'll just be
damn, look at that little boss fight, bro.
I liked
That's
this
pretty
in
dope.
Valheim far better than some other survival games that punish you with
damn, I'm guessing it's one of those where you need your own dedicated server type thing.
Thirst. So I'm glad that they've gone this route with Enshrouded as well. I think it's a good way to manage these survival elements without feeling too punished. Now you'll find food and other items and sources that you'll collect and use for all this stuff. Some of the food can be eaten directly, like various berries and plants, but then there's also campfires that will let you craft basic foods on the go. Later on, you'll have have things like cooking stations to provide for
spike
more
is here.
complex and better food ingredients. Now, the demo that we saw
Better
that
food,
we got to take a
better
look at took
ingredients.
place shortly after the game's tutorial. The presenter walked us through
Oh wait,
the
no, it's
basics,
better
which I've now
ingredients, better
covered
pizza.
here in the video, and then dove right into the gameplay, showing us examples of how base building, exploration, questing, and crafting, as well as combat works.
Looks dope,
And
though.
we began with the exploration.
I'm a butt
Right
with
near
you.
the starting area where you'll be building your first small abode was this deep trench that was covered with fog.
find
Now,
you.
the fog is dispersed throughout the entire game world. It basically fills all of the low area.
Oh my feet.
While in these regions, you can drop
Bring them down.
which effectively gives you time to kind of like diving.
Bring them down.
So we saw the player enter the
Let's
foggy
fight.
area, as I mentioned.
Oh
Found
shit.
location. A timer then appeared at the top of the screen, which
One's
to
heaven.
last,
I'm behind the column.
and as he was exploring,
Last player standing.
chance to lighting lanterns, he eventually actually came across an hourglass. Interacting with it reset the timer, extending the duration that he could stay in the fog. Apparently, these are going to be located throughout most of the foggy regions. It's really just a matter of finding them. If you don't
That's
find
some Legend
them,
of
it just
Zelda
means
shit.
Reina is
That
not
climbing.
out of the fog to basically catch.
I haven't played that game. Or not Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild.
Poison, I don't know. So we were told that many parts of the world, as you move further away from the starting zone into the new biomes towards major points of interest, a lot of these
I will
spots
say-
will require you passing through these foggy regions. And as said earlier, and as the
This
name
game
of
looks
the
pretty
game
interesting,
implies,
though, I'm
this
not
all
even gonna
plays
lie.
a rather pivotal role into the overall gameplay
Rush
loop
them.
and experience. I
It
think
is
it's
single
also
player,
worth
though,
noting
isn't
that
it?
This is an entirely
Where
handheld
are
game,
you?
unlike, say, Valorant or Minecraft with precision. A world that's different for every player. Enshrouded has a static structure, so my world
Yes.
looks the exact same as your world when we first boot up the game and enter into our own server. That is until we
planted.
start breaking things down, building up structures, terraforming the landscape, because
me those
absolutely
back.
everything at its base built out of voxels. But going back to those foggy
That's pretty cool.
areas, these aren't just regions to pass through as you're going to other locations that you have to just make your way through, trying not to suffocate, basically. They're also
pushing heaven.
full of ton of valuable things to collect, like
Just dropped.
upgrades for gear and weapons, special resources, seal points,
Find you.
tons of stuff
one
that are going
screens.
to motivate you to enter and
One enemy remaining.
then
Last
also
player standing.
enemies and bosses to fight. At its core, the game's combat is the typical
Nice.
action RPG
My
combat
ult's
system.
ready.
You've got a lock-on mechanic letting you focus a particular target. There are light, heavy, and combo
Stamina when you
attacks,
block, I
block,
guess.
Dodge.
Yeah,
There's also
and
parry
Parries.
system. If done
Here
properly, it
and
stuns the
now.
enemy, opening them up to a finisher. There is also stealth, where you can crouch, becoming harder to detect while in the open. Or if you crouch in bushes and certain debris, you'll
It's single
actually be
player, isn't it,
fully
man? I don't want it to be single
completely
player.
invisible.
I hope
And
it's
this
not.
plays
I hope
into
it's
the
not.
fact that there are sneak attacks letting you deal massive damage, which will, against weaker enemies, typically result in a one-shot. It's all pretty straightforward in terms of what you would expect from an action combat system. While some of the game's animations
find
are a
you.
bit stiff, I felt this way with the trailer,
Mark
even
one.
seeing this full gameplay
Mark two.
demo. All in all, it seems fairly well done, fairly well executed.
Whoa.
You should run.
It looks like it played pretty well. We also did see the boss fight after going back up to
One
base
enemy
right
remaining.
for the encounter where he
Oh shit.
So much further
and then got
to
some
I tried.
buffs, increasing his health and stamina. He then
There.
headed back into the ravine,
I
going
opened their
deeper
minds.
down into
Find
this
the
cave.
weakness.
On the way there, he came across a grouping of enemies, which actually proved to be a difficult encounter. There was a mix of melee ranged and casters. They actually overwhelmed him. He was successful on attempt number 2.
Whenever
by
I say
focusing
single
down
player, I mean,
targets
like,
with a
not
few well-timed parries, but it's
online
good
with
to
a lot
see
of people.
that
I don't know why I
there
keep
is
saying single
actual
player.
challenge present
It's probably
here,
like
not
where
just
you have your own
steamroll.
server, you had to
After
invite
doing
your
that, he then
friends,
headed
which
down
is still cool,
further
but
into this area that was called the Elixir
Stay
Well.
safe.
At the bottom
I
of
feel
the
like it'd
well
be
was
more
this
fun
large
when you
living
pass
plant
by a lot of
and
different
a
people.
mini boss. So the mini boss was a
and you
big
team up
creature,
for boss
basically. He
fights.
was
That's
very
kind of
deadly.
cool.
When I saw all he really did was provide
Where are
attack patterns and phases or top mechanics here.
Plant the
Just
spike.
big attacks
Plant
for the
the
player
spike.
to dodge. So you dodge the attacks, you counter with
Take
down,
hold.
whittle down the health
I'm
bar,
outta
and
here.
then
Still
win.
waiting.
It was a pretty straightforward
Bring them
fight.
down.
All in all, it took the player about 30 seconds to take on this, I guess what I would call a mini boss. Killing the boss, dropped the legendary
down.
axe, and had pretty strong base stats, well above the craft at the time, as well as some additional passive abilities which we were told would be unlocked by leveling up the weapon. So he equipped the axe and then used it to chop down what was called the Shroud Root.
One enemy remaining.
My ult is ready. Fog, taking it down, lifted the fog in the entire region, granted an additional skill point for him to use.
I look like some New World shit.
On progression here in a second, and then also we were told at this point this makes it way easier for you to explore the area, as makes sense because you no longer have that time limit of what sort of functions like an oxygen or a timer system. So you focus on finding the source.
That's
of the
cool
fog,
right there,
clearing
destroying
the fog, and then having that entire area to explore. And I gotta say, having seen it in action as a gameplay mechanic, I think this fog system is really neat. I also think it makes this really cool immersive element as you venture into these misty areas, kind of stumbling through with low field of vision until you eventually find the source that you clear, and then going back through that area now that you can see and now that you're no longer on a timer and doing
Face your fear!
I also realized as they continued
one's in sewer.
Presentation when they showed more of the game's world with all of these lowland fog regions that there is a ton of play space. They really make use not just of the horizontal landscape, but the up and down of the vertical. Lots of ravines and lots of high mountainsides and cliffs for you.
That's so cool, the gliding, dude.
Like the amount of vertical.
I like how it says start gliding when you're already gliding.
Of which you can traverse more quickly with a few tools.
When I say I like it, I mean that's kind of stupid.
Sort of works like a flying squirrel. There's a grapple hook, which lets you pull yourself up to anything within range. And then in the talent tree, you were able to unlock abilities like a double
that's pretty
jump,
cool.
a blink, and a few other traversal skills. And you can also combine these, so like you can double jump.
Those are all huge. You unlock 5 of them and you're superhuman.
Using your grapple hook to grab onto something just out of reach. Overall, it seems like there was a ton of different freedom of movement here. Even more so, though, as previously mentioned, because the entire world is voxel, meaning you can dig anywhere. So you can dig tunnels around a door or through a wall.
That's so
you can
crazy.
Dig straight down into a cave.
I like that though.
Search for its entrance.
Wish more games were like that.
Up the side of a mountain to reach the top. You could dig a hole in the floor of a building to get the jump on the enemy. You get the picture.
Oops.
It's a voxel world. You can just about anything in the world.
Wow.
What I saw.
That's heaven.
Although there are limitations to the ability of certain materials tools in order for you to break through. You also have a stamina gauge that depletes after a few swings, preventing you from just non-stop swinging forever instantly, which overall I think is good. This will stop players from breaking the game's level and world design when they first start playing, but as we progress and the character gets stronger, we get more stamina and better tools, we will become better and more efficient. Now, the game mainly has that loop. You start off in an area,
get stronger.
You've got your basic tutorial, you build your first base, you go to the nearby foggy area, you clear that, you do some exploration, and it's got that sandboxy nature where they're wanting you to naturally find things. Just going out into the world, finding and doing stuff as you stumble across it. But in addition to that, there are more traditional structured RPG systems as well. So you've got a journal that's going to show you various quests that you found, tutorials.
I wonder if you could blow that up, that tower, from the bottom and it all falls over.
Quests from what are known as the Flame. This is basically the player guide. Think what Navi is to Link in The Legends of Zelda. And there are also other NPCs that you will come across while exploring, some related to crafting, others just giving you side quests and additional things to do. There are lore books that you'll find, and these will give you hints about locations of things like hidden treasures. And then there's also a bunch of different progression systems. So you start off by creating a character, you will have some visual customization and pick a name, but outside of that, you're basically a slate to pick a class. Your entire playstyle and your specialization is all based off of the gear and weapons you equip. These will come with a typical array of stats.
So it's kind of like Valheim, how they said.
Weapons, various attributes on gear, but then on top of that,
I do like that though. That way you're not overpowered. It's whatever you craft,
and unlocking skill points.
and then upgrading your craft shit.
Will give you skill points, like as mentioned, when you clear a fog region, and then you spend those points on the skill tree. This is a web of interconnected nodes that branch out in every direction. So you start in the center with these yellow, more generalized nodes. These just give you some
one enemy remaining.
Bonuses, and then from there, it branches out into 3 different directions, which generally fill the 3 archetypes of a warrior, ranger, and mage. You select from a variety of active skills, passive skills, and attributes, giving you additional boosts to your character. And you can mix and match these however you want to create.
That dude looks cool. But I saw another one that looked like him earlier, didn't we? He blew up that wall.
Connected. You can go wherever.
There's a lot of how many variants of these creatures are there?
Ranger, full warrior, full mage, whatever kind of combination you please. It's really cool. But to give you some examples of these different types of abilities, some of the active skills you could unlock included the ability to double jump, the blink, there was a jump attack and shrapnel attack, some passive skills like ambush, which gives you double damage when attacking unaware enemies. Calm spirit would pacify any animals within 50 meters of your character. There was this thing called shroud filter, where dealing magic damage would give you a 15% chance to restore 30 seconds on your shroud timer. And then there were some utility skills like this merciless attack, where stunned enemies could now be executed. There was quality gear, which made it so that tool degradation.
One enemy remaining.
Lumberjack, which made it so that axes dealt more damage against wood. You get the picture. A lot of what you might expect, and the combinations are as you please. They also did say there will be respecking should you want to change your build midway through a playthrough.
That's pretty chill.
If you group up with people and you want to specialize, like one person plays the tank, another person plays the mage or supporty character,
and switch it up later.
That option through respecking. Of course, it wouldn't be a survival game without base building and crafting, and the game's got plenty of that. The basics of it are like the terrain. Base building is entirely voxel based, although they do have these larger templates where you can place massive chunks of floor, walls, roofs, etc. But then from there you can go in and edit and find detail.
Damn, dude, that looks so good.
Just like any voxel game, just like Minecraft, for example. Things will then also seamlessly blend together. So if you place a big wall and then remove 4 tiny blocks for a small window, it's actually going to naturally fill that window. From what they showcased, this was very well done. There are also going to be things like decorations and other items to place down. There are trophies you can get from the various bosses and things you can hunt. Placing those in your house will bring buffs to the player level. And then you're also able to craft multiple bases besides being a place for you to put down crafting stations, the NPCs, a spot to rest and buff up. These will also act as fast travel locations. Now, the crafting system's pretty much what you expect. You can craft things on the go, like field crafting, basically. These will be the basic necessities.
You will not
but then there's
kill my allies.
like the blacksmith will be one of the first ones you find, letting you make the introductory level of weapons and armor. And then as you go further down the line, you'll get these specialized crafting stations.
One enemy remaining.
Items. You'll unlock crafting NPCs by finding their souls in the world, and then you
Their souls.
Tell them basically
Last round before the switch.
There's things
Hey, I
like
said your soul
farming,
work for
where
me.
you can plant various
You got it, fam.
trees, herbs, food things that will grow, water them, and they'll grow. There'll be rare resources out in the world. Sometimes
that's a small ass inventory.
Mountains and these misty
Better be able to
regions.
craft a
You might have to
backpack,
dig
boy.
down into the
This dude
ground
don't ever have any
for
clothes on
ores
either.
and materials.
When I'm lying, didn't he have armor? Yep,
Of
there he
this
goes.
type, Enshrouded will have servers, so you can start up your own private server. You can join public servers. These can be saved locally,
good.
or you can spin up instances. Essentially, you can run servers that will be constantly running for you and your friends to join. There's also multiplayer co-op. This is not a single-player game. In fact, they host up to 16 players per server. They said
16? That's pretty cool, I guess.
where they can bring their characters with them. They have stated that characters and world saves will be completely separate. So they can
One
take their
enemy
character,
remaining.
help you out, get some
Flawless.
from their
Oh my.
character, then go back to their world save, keep all the characters that they name. And unfortunately, for those of you who might be more competitively
Switching sides.
inclined, I do have to inform you there is no PvP in the game. They have said this might be something they revisit later down the road, but it will not be there for the initial early access launch. Speaking
probably
of
add
which,
it.
yes, it's coming to early
Maybe.
access. It will be launching later this year. No exact time window yet, but some point in the year. They're planning to have roughly a year's worth of time in early access, during which they intend to add additional biomes, enemies, points of interest, resources.
I like the way it
recipes,
looks.
equipment,
It looks
weapons,
really
skills,
nice.
Building options, just basically more of everything that's already in the game. Although the game doesn't have a set early access release, we do know that beta testing will be beginning in just a couple of weeks, sometime very, very soon. If you're interested, you can register over on their website. And that is pretty much everything that I saw and what I've learned about Enshrouded so far. As I mentioned, when I saw the initial trailer, I wasn't all too impressed. Everything looked a little bit janky. And while the game does certainly have a level of jank that comes from them building such a large game,
Oh shit.
studio. I actually really like the general layout and structure. A lot of the systems and mechanics, the combat seems competent. I haven't played it. This was a hands-off demo. I just got to see all of this stuff. It was live, it was unedited, but I didn't actually get to final judgment. Play the gameplay loop. From what I saw, it does seem
last player
She said 44. Or Jet said 44, she
I
said.
am interested in playing it. I'm going to try to.
I thought we had more people alive. That was all my fault.
Just a couple of weeks. But that does it for me today. Thanks for joining me for this Enshrouded preview. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Oh, she got the new name.
I'll see you in the...
Damn, that game looks fucking dope, though. I like how the building is... It looks basically like how it would be put in the game, you know? I don't know how to describe it. Like, it blends in with the actual... What the hell are you doing, girl?
One enemy remaining.
Did they just not
down
look
A.
at her when she walks
30
like that?
seconds
You saw her
left.
head.
Got that.
Oh, but... Yeah, I'm glad it's not single player. I want to play a multiplayer, bro. Join public servers. They set it up to 16 people, so it's still kind of small, but... I mean, how big do you
10
need it to be?
seconds left.
You just need like a couple rolls, right, to beat the bosses.
Spike planted.
Looks good though. I didn't even hear whenever he said it's coming out, but I look forward to it. What the fuck? What is going on here, brother?
These interruptions.
She got pranked.
Without a star, I cannot.
But yeah. Hopefully it's a good one. I don't know why every game is launching in early access, but it does look fun, and I do like being able to contribute. Because I feel like whenever it's in early access, they're more open to suggestions. And, you know, if they pick up a good suggestion, that can be a whole game changer, literally. So,
Gun here.
looks good, looks pretty. I'll play it. I'll probably end up buying it. Maybe. If it looks good. I'll listen to see what other people say about it first. Maybe if they drop a free demo, that'd be good. But how many people do that nowadays? We'll see. I'm on Enshrouded.